My life has been full of terrible misfortunes, most of which never happened. It starts with that familiar tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts at 3 a.m. that refuse to let you sleep, and the dread of a future that hasn't even arrived yet. We live in a world that profits from our panic, constantly telling us we aren't enough, we aren't safe, and we are running out of time. But what if the cure for this modern sickness was discovered 2,000 years ago? You are not broken, and you are not alone in this feeling. You have simply been handed a map to a world that no longer exists, and you're trying to navigate chaos without a compass. Today, we are going to fix that. We are going to explore 9 proven strategies from the Stoics, strategies that transformed slaves into emperors and emperors into sages to help you dissolve anxiety and reclaim your peace. Welcome to Timeless Wisdom Official. If you are ready to reclaim your peace, join our community of seekers.
Strategy 1. The dichotomy of control. Let's begin with the single most powerful tool in the Stoic arsenal, the dichotomy of control. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this. In modern America, we are conditioned to believe that we can and should control everything. We stress over the economy, we lose sleep over election results, we rage at traffic on the I-95, and we obsess over what people are saying about us on social media. We exhaust ourselves trying to bend the world to our will. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, looked at this chaotic web of life and sliced through it with one sharp distinction. Some things are in our control and others not. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but the application is profound. You control your actions, your words, your character, and your judgment. That is your kingdom. Everything else, your reputation, the stock market, the weather, the mood of your boss, the outcome of a job interview, is not up to you. Anxiety thrives in the gap between what you want to control and what you actually can control. When you tie your happiness to things outside your grasp, you are voluntarily handing the keys to your emotional well-being to strangers and random chance. Here is a practical exercise you can do today, right now. It's called the 2-column method. Take a piece of paper. In the left column, write things I can change. In the right column, write things I must accept. Let's say you are worried about a potential layoff at work. In the left column, you write, updating my resume, networking, doing my absolute best work today, cutting unnecessary expenses. In the right column, you write, the company's quarterly earnings, my manager's opinion, the global economy. Once you fill these columns, you physically cross out the right side. You look at it and say, this is not for me. You pour 100% of your energy into the left column. By doing this, you move from a state of helpless panic to a state of focused action. You stop screaming at the storm and start adjusting your sails. That is where your power lies. Strategy 2. Cognitive distancing, the judgment trap. Have you ever sent a text message to a friend or a partner, and they didn't reply for 3 hours? What happened in your mind? If you are like most people, you didn't just notice the silence. You told yourself a story. They are ignoring me. I must have said something wrong. They don't respect me. I am going to be alone. By the time they finally reply with, sorry, I was in a meeting, you have already lived through a full emotional tragedy. The Stoics understood that the event itself, the delayed text, was neutral. It was harmless. It was your judgment of the event that caused the suffering. As Epictetus famously said, men are not disturbed by things, but by the view which they take of them. This is the judgment trap. We walk around wearing tinted glasses, coloring every interaction with our own insecurities and fears. We take things personally that have nothing to do with us. The driver who cut you off isn't targeting you. They are likely distracted or rushing to an emergency. The coworker who was short with you isn't plotting your downfall. They might just have a migraine. To combat this, we must use a strategy called cognitive distancing. Think of yourself as a translator. When a negative event happens, before you let it sink into your heart, pause. Ask yourself, what is the raw fact here, and what is the story I am adding to it? Let's apply this to a common scenario. You receive a critical email from a client. The fact: they pointed out an error and asked for a revision. The story: I am incompetent. They are going to fire me. I'm a failure. Stop. Separate them. Address the fact, fix the error. Discard the story. By stripping away the emotional narrative, you stop anxiety before it can take root. You regain your composure. You realize that the world is not out to get you. The world is just happening, and you get to decide what it means. Strategy 3. Premeditatio malorum, negative visualization. We live in a culture obsessed with positive thinking. We are told to manifest only good things, to keep good vibes only, and to never speak of failure lest we attract it. The Stoics would argue that this fragile optimism is actually a recipe for anxiety. If you only prepare for sunshine, the first storm will shatter you. Seneca, one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in Rome, practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This is not about being a pessimist. It is not about drowning in fear. It is about emotional immunization. Anxiety is often a fear of the unknown, a vague, shadowy monster in the closet. We think, what if I lose my job? What if my relationship ends? And we freeze. We are too afraid to look the monster in the eye. The Stoic strategy is to turn the lights on. Here is the so what drill. Instead of pushing your fears away, pull them close for 5 minutes. Visualize the worst-case scenario vividly. Suppose your biggest fear is losing your job. Don't just worry about it, play the movie in your head. Okay, you lose your job. Then what? I would feel embarrassed. Okay, and then what? I would have to cut back on eating out. Okay, and then what? I might have to move to a smaller apartment. Okay, and then what? I would apply for unemployment. I would reach out to my contacts. I would survive. By walking through the fire mentally, you realize something empowering. You can handle it. You have resources. You are resilient. The monster is usually just a shadow. Seneca taught us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When you look at the worst case and realize it won't kill you, the vague anxiety dissipates, leaving you with a concrete plan and a grateful heart for what you currently have. Strategy 4. Living in the present, the when/then trap. How much of your life are you currently missing because you are mentally living in the future? In America, we are culturally conditioned to suffer from what psychologists call deferred happiness syndrome. It is the constant, nagging belief that your real life hasn't started yet. You tell yourself, I will be happy when I get that promotion. I will relax when the kids go to college. I will finally feel secure when I pay off the mortgage. You are treating the present moment as nothing more than an obstacle, a waiting room you have to endure to get to the good part. But the Stoics, particularly Seneca, warned us about the danger of this mindset. He wrote, "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." Anxiety lives exclusively in the future. It cannot survive in the present. When you are anxious, you are projecting yourself into a hypothetical scenario that does not exist. You are feeling the pain of a catastrophe that hasn't happened. You are robbing the present of its joy to pay for a future that is not promised. Think about your morning commute. Are you actually driving the car, feeling the steering wheel, and listening to the music? Or is your body in the driver's seat, while your mind is already 20 miles away, fighting an imaginary argument with your boss or stressing about an email you haven't even read yet? The Stoic antidote is radical presence. It is the understanding that this moment, right now as you listen to my voice, is the only thing you truly possess. The past is a memory, the future is a hope, the present is reality. To practice this, you need to use sensory grounding. The next time anxiety spikes, stop what you are doing. Don't try to fight the thoughts. Just come back to your senses. Name 3 things you can see. Name 2 things you can touch. Name one thing you can hear. By forcing your brain to process sensory data, you snap the loop of anxious rumination. You return to the now. You realize that in this exact second you are safe. You are breathing. You are capable. Life is not something that happens later. It is happening right now, and it is the only time you have to be alive. Strategy 5. The view from above. Sometimes our anxiety feels crushing simply because our perspective is too small. We are zoomed in so tight on our own lives that a minor inconvenience looks like a tragedy. A rejected proposal, a scratched bumper, or a snide comment from a neighbor feels like the end of the world. When you are trapped in the minutiae of your daily struggles, you are the center of the universe. Every setback feels personal and monumental. This myopia is a breeding ground for stress. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome who carried the weight of an empire on his shoulders, used a technique known as the view from above to maintain his sanity. He would mentally zoom out, leaving his body and looking down at himself from the stars. Imagine doing this right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself sitting in the room where you are. Now zoom out to see your house. Zoom out further to see your city, a grid of lights and roads. Go higher. See your state, then the continent, and finally, the earth itself, a blue marble hanging in the vast, silent darkness of space. From this vantage point, look down at your problem. That awkward conversation you had yesterday? It is invisible. That deadline you are stressing about? It is a microscopic blip in the timeline of history. This is not meant to make you feel insignificant or depressed. It is meant to liberate you. It reminds you that you are part of something much larger, a vast, interconnected web of existence. Your time here is short. Do you really want to spend your limited hours on this planet worrying about what a stranger thinks of your shoes? The view from above washes away the petty anxieties of the ego. It brings a profound sense of peace. It reminds you that the world has spun before you arrived, and it will continue to spin after you are gone. Your only job is to play your part well, right now, without being crushed by the weight of things that, in the grand scheme, simply do not matter. Strategy 6. Amor fati, loving your fate. This next strategy is perhaps the most challenging, but also the most transformative. It is the concept of amor fati, a Latin phrase that translates to love of fate. Most of our anxiety comes from resistance. We fight against reality. We scream, "Why is this happening to me? This isn't fair. It wasn't supposed to be like this." We waste an incredible amount of emotional energy wishing that things were different than they are. This resistance creates friction, and that friction burns us out. The Stoics propose a radical shift. Don't just accept what happens to you, love it. Embrace it. Treat every event, whether it is a flat tire, a breakup, or a lost opportunity, as if you had chosen it yourself. Think of a fire. When you throw a log into a fire, the fire doesn't say, "Oh no, a log. What am I going to do?" No. The fire consumes the log. It uses the log to burn brighter and hotter. You must be like the fire. The obstacle is not a barrier to your life. The obstacle is the fuel for your life. Let's apply this to a typical American frustration. You are stuck in a long line at the grocery store. The person in front of you has a dozen coupons and is arguing about the price of milk. The resistant mindset says, "I hate this. I'm wasting time. Why does this always happen to me?" Your blood pressure rises. You are anxious and angry. The amor fati mindset says, "Good. This is exactly what I needed. The universe has given me 5 minutes of downtime to practice patience. I can stand here and breathe. I can listen to a podcast. I can observe the people around me." By shifting from "this is happening to me" to "this is happening for me," you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become a master of your response. When you love your fate, you become invincible, because nothing can happen to you that you cannot use for your own growth. Strategy 7. The discipline of action. Anxiety loves a vacuum. It flourishes when you are stagnant. The more you sit and think about your problems, the bigger and scarier they become. This is what we call analysis paralysis. In the modern world, we have access to infinite information. If you have a health symptom, you can Google it and convince yourself you are dying within 5 minutes. If you want to start a business, you can watch 50 hours of YouTube tutorials until you are so overwhelmed by the details that you never actually launch. We mistake worrying about a problem for solving the problem. The Stoics were men of action. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write philosophy. He led armies. Seneca didn't just preach about wealth. He was an investment banker and a statesman. They understood a fundamental truth. Action is the antidote to despair. As Marcus Aurelius commanded himself, stop arguing what a good man should be. Be one. When you feel that rising tide of panic, it is often because you have unchanneled energy trapped in your body. Your mind is spinning, but your hands are idle. The cure is to move. We are going to use the 5-minute rule. When you are dreading a task, whether it is doing your taxes, having a difficult conversation, or cleaning the garage, your anxiety is screaming because it is looking at the entire mountain. It feels impossible. Don't look at the mountain. Just look at the first step. Tell yourself, I am not going to finish this today. I am just going to do it for 5 minutes. That's it. Anyone can endure 5 minutes of anything. Once you start, something magical happens. The anxiety dissipates. The monster shrinks. You realize the task was never as scary as the movie you played in your head. Action clears the fog. It grounds you in reality. If you are anxious, do not sit there. Stand up. Do the dishes. Go for a walk. Write the first sentence. Do something. Anything. Movement is life. Strategy 8. Scheduled worrying. Does this sound familiar? You are trying to have dinner with your family, or you are trying to watch a movie on a Friday night, but your brain is still at the office. You are physically present, but mentally, you are replaying a mistake you made 3 days ago or worrying about a meeting next Monday. Anxiety is like a gas. It expands to fill every available space in your life. If you don't contain it, it will contaminate your rest, your relationships, and your sleep. The Stoics believed in doing one thing at a time. When you walk, walk. When you eat, eat. But how do you do that when your brain won't shut up? You need to use a strategy of compartmentalization called scheduled worrying. It sounds counterintuitive. Why would you schedule misery? But it is incredibly effective. Choose a specific time in your day. Let's say 4:30 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. This is your worry window. Now, imagine it is 10 a.m. You are working, and suddenly a terrifying thought pops into your head. What if I can't pay for my child's tuition next year? Instead of letting that thought hijack your morning, you catch it. You write it down on a notepad. And you say to yourself, I am not ignoring this. This is important. But I am not dealing with it now. I will worry about this at 4:30 p.m. Then, you go back to work. When 4:30 p.m. comes, you sit down. You look at your list. You give yourself permission to worry as hard as you can for 15 minutes. But often, when you arrive at that time, you will find that the thought has lost its emotional charge. It doesn't sting anymore. By deferring the worry, you prove to your brain that you are in charge of your attention, not your anxiety. You create a boundary that allows you to actually enjoy your life when you aren't working. Strategy 9. Memento mori. Remember you will die. We have arrived at the final and perhaps the most powerful strategy of all. It is the one we run from the most in Western culture. We hide it in hospitals. We use euphemisms. We pretend it isn't happening. But the Stoics kept it on their desk. They wore it on their rings. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. Why would you want to think about death if you are trying to reduce anxiety? Doesn't that make it worse? On the contrary, anxiety thrives on trivialities. We get anxious about traffic. We get anxious about a stain on our shirt. We get anxious about awkward silences. We stress about these things because we are living under the illusion that we have forever. We think we have time to waste on fear. Death is the ultimate clarifier. It snaps everything into perspective. Imagine you are on your deathbed. You are taking your final breath. Looking back at your life, will you care that your presentation wasn't perfect? Will you care that someone unfriended you on Facebook? Will you care that you were 5 minutes late to a meeting in 2026? Of course not. You will care about who you loved. You will care about the moments of joy. You will care about the times you were brave. So, the next time you are paralyzed by the fear of embarrassment or failure, use the deathbed test. Ask yourself, does this matter in the face of death? If the answer is no, then let it go. You do not have time to be anxious. You only have time to live. Use this thought not to scare yourself, but to liberate yourself. You are here for a flickering moment in the span of eternity. Don't spend that precious moment worrying. Spend it living, loving, and doing what you were put on this earth to do. We have journeyed through the ancient halls of the Stoa, from the dichotomy of control to the sobering reality of memento mori. Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions. It is not about becoming a statue or a robot. It is about realizing that you are the captain of your soul. You cannot control the ocean. You cannot stop the waves, the storms, or the wind. But you can always control the ship. You have survived 100% of your bad days. You have navigated every crisis, every heartbreak, and every moment of panic that life has thrown at you up until this second. You are stronger than you think. You possess a fortress within you that anxiety cannot touch, a sanctuary of reason and will that is yours and yours alone. Remember the tools we sharpened today. Separate what you can control from what you cannot. Challenge your judgments. Visualize the worst so you no longer fear it. Live in the present moment. Zoom out to see the cosmos. Love your fate no matter what it brings. Take action. Contain your worry. And remember that life is short. These are not just ideas. They are weapons. Wear them daily, and watch as the chaos of the world breaks against the rock of your character. Thank you for spending your most valuable resource, your time, with Timeless Wisdom Official today. It is an honor to walk this path with you. If this video helped you find even a moment of clarity in the noise, please subscribe, like, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. We are building a community of wisdom, and we need you. And I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 9 strategies do you need the most right now? Is it the discipline of action? Is it amor fati? Share your story. We read every single comment, and your experience might just be the inspiration someone else needs to keep going. Stay wise, stay strong, and until next time, live fully.